Hey guys, we recently posted a video of a project going on at the old Japanese farmhouse, and there was a comment made that most of the work that happens at the farmhouse is maintenance and repairs and not very interesting. Someone on Patreon said that they'd be happy to watch those videos too, so this is for that person, that one person. Recently someone was putting something in the cupboard underneath this basin and they bumped the pipe and it snapped clean off. So this fitting here, usually the silver thing is the thing you see at the top of the basin, and then the rest of it's under the basin. And it's a plastic fitting, and the plastic fitting there is just broken off. So that silver ring at the top there is just snapped off, which was a bit of a messy thing, as you can imagine, because the pipe then dropped down and emptied out into the cupboard. So we had to do something about fixing it. Now it sort of seemed familiar, that piece. From tidying up the old farmhouse, we found lots of things. Now that piece seemed familiar because it's a bit of a funny design, funny shape. There it is. So like we've told you before, the old man that owned the old farmhouse before us seemed to buy two of everything. If he went and bought a part for something, he seemed to buy two and keep one as a spare. So the stuff that we've got, the plumbing parts and electrical parts and just all the bits and pieces, screws and bolts and nuts and just all random stuff, seals and gaskets, and it just seems that he'd either, when he went to buy something, he'd either buy two or three of them instead of just buying one and keep spares. And then he seemed to keep them random places. He wasn't very tidy, wasn't very organised, and so they were all over the place, all over the farmhouse. So we collected them. Some things we put in the materials room, some things we put together, so the plumbing supplies got put together, electrical supplies, and we got really organised. And so we found a lot of duplicates. Some of you might remember we had dozens of spanners, all the same sizes, and lots of things like that, where he'd obviously forgotten he had something and went and bought two more of it, not remembering that he already had a couple of the same. So amazingly went and had a look, and yeah, thought that part was right, checked it, yep, 32mm it is. Pretty narrow. The Japanese pipes, we've showed you this before, pretty narrow. If you live in Japan at any time, you've got to be really careful what goes down the drain, because you can see it's pretty narrow. So plastic fitting with some rubber seals. So usually don't use heavy tools. It's an outlet pipe, it's a drain pipe, so it's not under pressure. So the thinking is, rather than use a tool on it and risk damaging something, just finger tight, just hand tight, and tight with the hands. It's tight enough to create a seal without risking breaking anything. So the unskilled labourer is also an unskilled plumber, of course, but not a real difficult job once you've got the right part. It wasn't a real difficult job, considering what a catastrophe it was being broken. The result, or the solution, was pretty painless. It was free, again, thanks to the old man. What an obscure thing to have. Obviously somewhere else around the place another one of these must have got broken once, and he bought two. Bless him. How's that? Fixed. And again, just finger tight. You know, you can use tools to tighten those up, can't you? But it's not under any pressure. It's not going to move. So there's that. There we go. Pretty narrow, aren't they? So for that reason, we put these little filters at the top, these little things. These are quite common in Japan, in the kitchen too. Anywhere you've got a drain, little thing like that to catch anything big, because you don't want to block up your drains. Catches hair and stuff too. So it's done, look at that. So yeah, pour some water down there just to make sure it's not leaking anywhere. Quick look underneath. So that guy on Patreon that said you'd watch maintenance and repairs, there you go, that was for you. Everyone else has stopped watching now, they're off doing something else. That's the sort of work, that's what we do mostly at the old farmhouse, little jobs like that. Anyway, there it was, more videos coming soon.